The Cobra system itself is really nerve-based, designed to manipulate the nerves. What we try to do is we start off with the basic level of nerve manipulation. And so we try to keep it as simple as possible. So if I can get Jeff to step up here for a second. What we want to do is kind of show you how we work with this. Just put your arm out here. Yeah, you just need to put your arm out. Okay, now what we do is typically the body's defenses are designed to where you usually can hit center of any bone and it sends the message that it's breaking. You know, it's just the way the body is designed. We have typically what we call pockets or cavities, which usually are at the fronts or the head of the joints. You'll find just in front of the joints or just here, you'll usually find that there are nerve endings or pockets that you can strike into, which will affect the motor nerves on the person. You have, usually we do the center, look at the center of the hand or center of the arm or the bone as a warning point. So the thing is, I don't have to hit a point specific. All I have to do is focus this area here. Then we have the same thing when we come to the wrist. There are specific points. You can look them up, you know, via either, you know, MWM or TCM methods to identify them, or you can just strike this region, okay? And the thing is that it creates a vulnerability. So when we're using this, just hold it still. When we're using the Cobra sphere, okay, I can utilize the side of the hood in this position and pick that off and know that I'm still creating, you know, the first level of neurological damage. Okay, just simply hitting that portion of the wrist, okay, interferes. You're striking a number of tendons, veins, as well as nerves in this area. When we go to, again, like I say, we hit center bone. We want to strike within this region here. And it'll create the numbing sensation, loss of finger control. You know, a lot of times you can do it to where anywhere it's like almost like a band around it. And you can actually cause the arm to numb, the hand to open, those type of things. Then we can work the front perimeter of the joint. You have the same thing. You have the same general. And generally what we do is that the angles and direction does matter in knowing. But if I've got an arm coming out, make a fist. If I got an arm coming out and I catch it here, I catch it here, or I catch it here, each one of those, simply doing it in motion, you can activate the nerve to numb and deaden the arm. So those are all 3 points that we look at. Now see, this is when this is what we call zones or regions or areas. They're broad. You see, I'm not so much focused on I have to hit, you know, lung 8, you know, right here and just push it in and all that other stuff. All I have to do is create the impact in the area initially. Now the other thing, like I was saying, with using the body of the Cobra allows me to do the same thing. So if I put it up, I can hit him with the middle of my arm and cause that same kind of damage. You see, so we kind of look at this at ranges. We also do, typically if we do the same thing on the outside of the arm. I may clear with one hand, let's say I clear here, and I catch right beyond the elbow joint. I can hit center of the tricep, or I can go up and dislocate at the shoulder. So each one of these are focused on I call them broad or zoned pressure points or vulnerable spots. When we start to get a little more sophisticated, or the next level is when we start to get a little more nerve specific, but we also refine the weapon a little bit. So this allows me to be able to use this circular motion, okay, to strike these 3 parts. If you put the other hand up, if he's punching with this one, okay, I do the same thing here. I shoot for the wrist, I shoot for this portion of the forearm, and then I can also shoot right here if I'm keeping it there. Now, the one thing that we do is we always use 2 hands. Okay, we create unisons in the hands, so the hands usually will work in unisons as we're doing it. So that helps create the safety factor. I'm just trying to share with this now. Now, the other thing that we do is, let's put the other hand. Okay, the other thing that we do is we also use it in a situation where, let's say I do both of them where he does a double strike here. I can do the same thing. Now I can do the third one, and now it's actually turned into the weapon. So often our defensive weapons can become our offensive weapons. So all I have to do is keep this same circle going, and it allows me to use it as a weapon, an offensive weapon. If he punched with the other hand, boom, and then I got it again. You see, depending on what range I'm at now, so I can just cover and bring it around. So I just circle them to be able to utilize it. So it becomes extremely versatile.